Have you ever pondered the magnitude of damage a single cyber attack can inflict on our digital lives? In this vast landscape of interconnected systems, cybersecurity is no longer an option, but a must. From personal data to national security, the stakes are high and the threats are real. It's a cat and mouse game where the mouse constantly evolves. This highlights the critical need for risk management, the proactive approach to identifying, assessing, and responding to cyber threats. The key to countering such threats lies in understanding and implementing risk management in cybersecurity. But what exactly is risk management in cybersecurity? Well, it's a systematic process designed to identify, assess, and mitigate potential risks that could compromise digital assets. It's like a game of chess, where every move counts and the goal is to shield your king, your data, from potential threats. In the realm of cybersecurity, risk management plays a pivotal role. Why, you may ask? Well, imagine an environment where threats are invisible, constantly evolving, and can strike at any given moment. Sounds like a nightmare, right? That's the digital world we live in today. Risk management helps us navigate this tricky landscape by identifying potential threats, assessing their potential impact, and then implementing strategies to mitigate these risks. It's about staying one step ahead of the game, predicting and preparing for potential threats before they strike. In essence, risk management is the shield against the cyber threats lurking in the digital shadows. Now, let's delve into the process of risk management. Risk management is a four-step process. It's like a dance where you need to master each step to ensure a smooth performance. The dance begins with risk identification. This is the stage where you identify potential threats that could harm your cyber environment. It's about being aware of your surroundings and understanding the potential hazards lurking in the shadows. It's like being a detective, always on the lookout for clues that might reveal a potential threat. After identifying the risks, we move to the second step, risk assessment. This is where you evaluate the identified risks based on their potential impact and the likelihood of their occurrence. Picture yourself as a fortune teller, predicting the possible outcomes and consequences. It's an important step as it helps prioritize the risks and allocate resources effectively. The third step in our dance is risk response. This is where you decide how to address the risks. There are typically four responses to choose from: accept the risk, avoid the risk, reduce the risk, or share the risk. Imagine yourself as a chess player, strategically deciding your next move to ensure your king's safety. Finally, we reach the fourth step, risk monitoring. This is the continuous process of tracking the identified risks and reviewing the effectiveness of the response strategies. It's like being a vigilant watchman, always keeping an eye on the horizon for any signs of trouble. This step is crucial as new risks can emerge at any time, and existing risks might change. All these steps form a cycle that repeats over and over again. The dance never really ends. Each step informs the next, creating a continuous loop of activity. It's a dynamic process that evolves with the changing cyber landscape. As you see, the risk management process is a continuous cycle that demands consistent vigilance and action. To better grasp risk management, we need to understand a few key concepts. Firstly, let's dive into the concept of a threat. A threat, in the context of cybersecurity, is a potential danger or harm that can exploit a vulnerability in a system or network. It could be anything from a malicious hacker to a natural disaster. Next, we have vulnerability. This is a weakness or gap in a security system that can be exploited by threats. Vulnerabilities could stem from outdated software, weak password policies, or even human error. Now let's talk about impact. Impact refers to the potential damage that a threat can cause if it successfully exploits a vulnerability. This could be measured in terms of financial loss, damage to reputation, or even legal implications. This brings us to likelihood. The likelihood is the chance or probability of a threat exploiting a vulnerability and causing an impact. It's a crucial part of risk assessment, as it helps to prioritize risks based on their probability. Lastly, we have risk appetite. This is the level of risk that an organization is willing to accept in pursuit of its objectives. It's a balancing act. Too much risk appetite might lead to devastating consequences, while too little might stifle innovation and growth. So how do these concepts interplay in the risk management process? Well, risk management involves identifying threats and vulnerabilities, assessing their potential impact and likelihood, and then making decisions based on the organization's risk appetite. For instance, if a threat has a high likelihood of exploiting a major vulnerability and causing significant impact, but this exceeds the organization's risk appetite, then measures would be taken to mitigate the risk. This might involve patching the vulnerability, implementing stronger security controls, or even changing business practices. These concepts form the backbone of risk management, providing the necessary insight to effectively mitigate cybersecurity risks. By now, you should have a solid understanding of what risk management in cybersecurity entails. We've journeyed through the inevitability of cyber threats, illuminating the harsh reality of our digital age. Threats aren't a matter of if, but when. We've delved into the essence of risk management, exploring how it is an indispensable tool in the cybersecurity toolkit. It's not about completely eliminating risks, that's an impossible feat. Instead, it's about understanding them, mitigating their potential impact, and being prepared when they strike. We've dissected the risk management process, breaking it down into its fundamental steps, identifying risks, assessing their potential impact, devising strategies to mitigate them, implementing these strategies, and continuously monitoring and reviewing the process. This cyclic and ongoing process is the backbone of effective risk management. We've also uncovered key concepts in risk management, such as risk appetite, risk tolerance, and risk capacity. These concepts guide organizations in making informed decisions about how much risk they are willing and able to take on. In conclusion, risk management is a vital component of cybersecurity. It's a dynamic, ongoing process that requires constant vigilance and adaptability. It's about making informed decisions and being prepared for the inevitable. And most importantly, it's about ensuring the survival of your organization in the face of constant cyber threats. Remember, in our increasingly digital world, understanding and implementing risk management is not just beneficial, it's essential for survival.